This code sample includes a simple HTML document. There is a script element that refers to the jQuery library hosted on Google server, and here we have a style element that refers this specific div. This style element says that we want this div to be displayed with a width of 200 pixels and height of 100 pixels. It also says that we want the background to be this specific color. Here we have two buttons with the text fade in and fade out. Two buttons with the text fade in and fade out. Now, as you can see, when I press fade out, it disappears, but we have some sort of fading animation. Fading does something similar. Now, if we get back to the code, we can see that here we call the dollar function, specifying that we want to get an object that represents the entire document, and on that object we invoke ready, saying that we want this anonymous function to be invoked when everything is ready, when the entire document is loaded. So when the entire document is loaded, this function, this anonymous function, is executed. And over here we actually have two statements. The first, here we get an object that represents this input element, and we invoke the click function on that object, specifying the anonymous function we want to be invoked each time this button is clicked. The same happens with the other input element. Now, when the user press this button, this code is executed, and this code says the following: invoking the dollar function, passing over a rectangle, meaning that here we get the object that represents this div element, and on that object we can see the invocation of fadeIn function, saying that we want a fade-in effect and we want it to be fast. Here we can see the opposite. When pressing the other button, the fadeOut function is invoked, which means the rectangle we see on screen is faded out, disappears, and it goes slowly. Now, as you can see, fade out disappears, fade in comes back. We can change here to have the fading doing it slowly, fade out, fade in. Now, these are not the only options when using the fading and fade out function. If you check the API, you can see that both fading and fade out have many more options we can use. For example, you can see that we can pass over an object with options.